What is going on, guys? You're back on the video today, and because it's an even more deader month for Madden, let's talk about Madden 20, the game everyone's looking forward to. Of course, X-Factor abilities and Superstar abilities. There's some really strong abilities, so we're going to go over which ones I think are really overpowered, and even, you know, the talks of some of these maybe even being tuned down after the game's release. So, of course, we have Bazooka, max throwing distance increased by 15 plus yards. I don't think that's too bad. I think that's perfectly fine. Unstoppable Force, we have pass rush leads to quicker block shedding. I think these Unstoppable Force are going to be very overpowered. If you guys played the beta, there was a lot of pressure, and there's some really good teams with good blockers, so imagine when really bad blockers. It's going to be an interesting one for franchise. I think franchise is going to be the most affected, to be honest. We have shutdown, tighter coverage, and more interceptions on contested catches. That, obviously, we need stuff like that because there's going to be some really overpowered receiving ones. Fearless, throw accuracy is unaffected by defensive pressure. I think that is almost a must-have with these, once again, these pass rushers just absolutely gaping. I mean, even before their X-Factor abilities, I was getting gaped in the beta. Double Me wins aggressive catches versus single coverage. That could be overpowered, which is nice because I've got Mike Evans. However, I think there is, I'm not really sure, but if there is only one way to get into the zone, it's going to be rough. I've seen the Double Me. I think it's like 3 30-yard catches. So basically in franchise, if you get into the zone with Double Me, your guy's probably going to have 200-300 yards on the game. Rack 'em Up wins rack catches versus single coverage, which is really interesting. Like, are you going to go for rack catches while there's someone right on you? That's, I don't know. Satellite wins rack and possession catches versus single coverage. That one we seen on Kamara, so that's probably more of a slot guy or, a smaller guy underneath type of deal. Freight Train, increased chance to break the next tackle attempt. That could be really cool for power backs. Someone like Le'Veon Bell may have that, I would assume anyways. Pro Reads highlights the first open receiver while in the pocket. That, I seen the highlight. It's really small. It's honestly more of a burden to try and find the highlight than it is to just find the receiver yourself. Blitz Radar highlights extra blitzers after the ball is snapped. That could be useful. I haven't seen it in action, but that might be useful because you're paying attention to the coverage more. But if there's an on-screen prompt that shows you, you might be able to avoid a sack that way, keep yourself in the zone perhaps. Reinforcement higher, a chance to defeat run blocks and disrupt catches. I would assume that's a linebacker thing. So far, the ones that I'm seeing that are overpowered are the pass rush ones, because once again, those guys were really overpowered. However, I do think Double Me is going to be a problem, and I think that might even be completely removed or just replaced. Obviously, aggressive catches were a problem and have been a problem in quite a while for Madden. So that's a little bit of a rough one. Max security could be really annoying as well. High success rate on possession catches. First one free. High fake out rate on the next juke, spin, or hurdle. How does that work? Is it like it says first one free, so you would think it would be the first one, but it says on the next. So do you lose your X Factor after that? Like, is it? I don't even know. Like, because if it's on the next, if you juke a guy and then you have a little break in play and then you do it again, are you just going to be able to burn everybody? I have no idea. Fearmonger, chances to pressure QB while engaged with a blocker. That seems broken. Once again, this pressure thing, we've seen guys like Drew Brees, Russell Wilson missing throws just because they're pressured. So, I don't know. I think they're going to play too much of a factor into these abilities, and it's actually going to be very hard to play offenses here. Gambler can't be intercepted by AI defenders. We've seen that on Rodgers. I think they've actually kind of taken shots at some quarterbacks, like Tom Brady. His ability, you have to throw like 5-yard passes or something like that. To actually, to be fair, his is actually the opposite. It should be 5 and under because he doesn't throw over 5 yards. I'm sorry. It's always a Tom Brady bashing moment. But Gambler can't be intercepted by AI defenders. That's kind of a shot at Rodgers because last year he had a couple of throws where he definitely should have been picked, but he wasn't. But then again, which quarterback doesn't? Fearmonger, chances to pressure QB. Yeah, we already seen that. I'm stupid. Where are we? So, we already seen Bazooka. What am I doing here? I can't. What the hell am I doing? Did I show all of them? I may have already talked about all of them. Did I? I think I did. So yeah, I talked about all the X-Factor abilities. There is a lot of Superstar abilities too, though. There is, I think, 20? Is there 20 superstar abilities? There's Run Stopper, Quick Block Shed, and Tackles while engaged by Run Block. So, of course, these are going to be your guys with superstar development trait. The question is, maybe it's something that should be automatically known, but the way they talk about it, I've said it a few times, are you going to be able to upgrade your development trait by being a good player? Because if not, that's going to be really bad. I would assume, let's be honest, it's pretty obvious that's going to be the case, but are you going to be able to get to Superstar X Factor? That's another one. Run Stopper, we already talked about. Double Move Elite, higher chance of success when running a double move. You can't really control that, though, can you? That's more of like an AI thing. Jukebox, faster juke animations. Run Red Zone Threat, improved catching versus single coverage in Red Zone. That's interesting. That's another one that could be a little overpowered, especially if you combine that with, Double Me. Is that going to make it where you can't drop an aggressive catch? Like, I don't know. Tackle Supreme, decrease fake out chance, and better conservative tackles. In, out, elite, better route running and catching on in and out routes. That's pretty good. Out routes, maybe not. Inside, Deadeye, perfect pass accuracy on throws inside the numbers. That, those kind of, like, the word perfect is a word I don't want in Madden, even though everyone wants, like, everyone complains that, oh, Madden, so it's too random. I get that factor for the, esports side. It makes sense because, it shouldn't be where you're running down the field and you fumble on a strip animation, but you've stripped your opponent all game and they haven't fumbled. That's kind of, RNG. That's kind of unfair. But at the same time, in the real world, no matter how overpowered they want to make Mahomes, nobody is perfect. It's impossible to be perfect. It literally is. So the word perfect, I don't think belongs in Madden, but perfect pass accuracy on throws on the inside, like, that's a superstar ability. So that person has that all game long. I don't know if I like that. Enforcer, guaranteed tackle after hit sticking ball carriers. How does that work? Is there going to be a suction? Like, is there going to be a problem with suction tackles again? I mean, a reach elite, the ability to tackle / sack while engaged with blockers. I hate that. If you guys have played last year's Madden, there's a DT, and 2 yards before you're even running near them, they suction you and grab you, and you can't get out of it. Hate that. Pick Artist, better catching and improved stamina on interception returns. That one's, I think that's fine. Perfectly fine. Makes sense. There's some guys that just have the gas, like Ed Reed in the day, and then there's some guys that pick the ball off and 20 yards down the field, they're already gassed and they have to fall down. You can see that it happens all the time. Zone down, improve reactions, and catch knockouts in zone. That's nice. I mean, I think we need stuff like that to counteract these perfect throws from the quarterback, these perfect route running, stuff. Slot-o-matic, quicker cuts, and improved catching for the slot. We've seen a guy like Edelman have that. Completely fair. A guy like him deserves that. He's insane in the slot. Acrobat, diving swats and interceptions. Those are going to be things you probably won't see on linebackers too much unless they're very, very athletic. Unfakeable. This is going to be, your elite linebackers, I would say. I highly doubt they'll give it to cornerbacks. Decreased chance to be faked out by ball carrier moves. Tackle Supreme, decreased fake out chance, and better conservative tackles. I think that's all fine. I think the defensive ones are going to be a lot less overpowered than the offensive ones. Strip Specialist, reduced tackle penalty while trying to strip the ball. I think that's fair. I think in real life, in Madden, you kind of strip the ball without trying to tackle. In real life, I think most of the time you're going to have a guy that grabs the player with one arm and then tries to strip it with the other. So I think stuff like that should be already in the game the way it is. Armbar, more powerful stiff arm animations, improved scrambling speed behind the... Oh, Jesus, I'm reading onto the wrong one. But yeah, more powerful stiff arm animations. Stiff arming has been pretty much dead in Madden for years, so that could be something that brings it back. Escape Artist. You might be able to see armbar in a couple of wide receivers. It'd be interesting to see. Escape Artist, improved scrambling speed behind the line of scrimmage. I hate that ability. I know it makes a lot of sense, in Madden. Once again, for years, it's been an issue where DTs have been catching up to 90 speed quarterbacks, but the fact that they gave that to Patrick Mahomes, who's, he's above average speed, but he's not that fast. But yet, if you've watched anything from the beta or played the beta, he is so fast behind the line of scrimmage, it's ridiculous. I don't know, I don't like that one at all, to be honest. I think Escape Artist, once again, these superstar abilities seem to be automatically on. I think you get to choose 2 superstar abilities a game and then have your X Factor, of course. If they're always on, I think that's overpowered in my opinion. Agile defender, higher chance to evade the first sack by a blitzing DB. Is that going to be a problem for nano blitzes? I think so, to be honest. Last ditch, higher chance to get a pass off while being sacked. That one I like to see a lot because even though it is a little overpowered and maybe doesn't belong in Madden, so many times you take a sack when in real life you could easily chuck the damn ball. I don't like that in real life, so it is what it is. There's a 68 superstar abilities, by the way. This is going to be a long video, probably. In the background, you might be seeing Kyler Murray franchise. That franchise kind of died, so, whenever I can use that to, be in the background of video, I'll do it. Roaming Deadeye, perfect pass accuracy while standing outside the pocket. Standing is key. You usually get pretty much perfect accuracy when you stand outside the pocket, unpressured. Hopefully a lot of these descriptions don't mention pressure. I hope pressure, changes that word perfect. I hate the word perfect in throwing in Madden. I really do. Fast break, improve ball carrier control on design QB runs. I don't know. It seems like when you were playing Madden, the quarterback didn't really have any ability to really run free. So I don't know if that really affects speed or anything. Edge threat, dominant pass rush moves from the edge. That worries me. But once again, offense seems overpowered with some of their moves, so maybe the defenders do need it. Wide receiver apprentice, 4 additional hot routes at any wide receiver position. What are those hot routes? I don't know. Grab and go, quicker turning and change of direction after a catch. That could be super OP if that's going to make you accelerate really quickly after catching the ball. It's going to be very hard to tackle off ball. And that's usually where the biggest plays are made, right when the receiver makes the catch. Pass rush elite, quicker pass rush moves in block shedding. That's once again something that worries me, but like we said, both have their overpowered abilities. Post flag route, better route running and catching on post/corner routes. Fair enough. Corner routes kind of died last year. Post worries me a little bit though. Edge threat elite, dominant pass rush moves and increased quarterback pressure. I don't get what's the difference between edge threat, dominant pass rush moves, and then edge threat elite? Oh, there's 2 versions. Can you up? Interesting. So what's the difference between elite and regular? How do you differentiate? Is there going to be guys that are they're superstars? Let's say the game for some reason doesn't think OBJ is a X factor. We know he is, but the game doesn't think he is. But Edelman's also a superstar. They're both superstars, but obviously the game thinks OBJ, in real life they think OBJ is better, so they give him elite instead of regular. Is that kind of what they're going for here? Or maybe you unlock elite by doing those things throughout the season? I'm not sure. I'm interested. So Hot Route Master, 4 additional hot routes in general. I think that would be a QB thing, right? I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not quite sure. Clutch, reduce zone objectives late in close games. Conductor, faster hot routing and blocking adjustments. That's something that was in Ultimate Team for years. I like the fact that, like I mentioned this a year or 2 ago, I wanted those abilities in franchise, so here we are. Pocket League, extended range on precision passing from the pocket. Red zone threat, improved catching versus single coverage in the red zone. Double move elite, higher chance of success when running a double move. Once again, I don't know how you choose if you're running a double move. Maybe the AI will just do it because they're good at it. Power specialist, faster pass, power move and animations during the pass rush. That worries me once again. Universal coverage, improved coverage and knockdown. Oh, Jesus. Universal coverage sounds good. Improved coverage and catch knockouts in man and zone. So this does, that upgrade alone really makes me think the emphasis on stats is going to be lower, and in what point are we even going to see stats almost go away? Universal coverage just seems kind of weird that there's an ability for better coverage. Shouldn't good stats, good ratings do that? I don't know. This is interesting. Outside run gear. So is going for the abilities going to be more important than actually upgrading? Is there going to be an ability? Ooh, I wonder if there's going to be a chance to buy these abilities, because these are basically traits. And about 2 Maddens ago, maybe 2 Maddens ago, before this year, before 19, you did buy your traits. So maybe you can actually buy these as well, or maybe that's where they're going to go in the future. I wonder. really wonder. Outside run guru, stronger blocking on outside zone plays. Cross specialist, better. Oh, so stronger blocking. So that's an offensive lineman ability, it seems. So they did actually play into the lineman, which is nice. Cross specialist, better route running and catching on cross routes. Great. That's what we need, right? Dashing, deadeye, perfect. Pass accuracy while running outside the pocket. Yikes. No look, deadeye, perfect pass accuracy on crossbody throws. I hate that. These ones I'm reading here are terrible. Perfect pass accuracy while throwing in the red zone. That's fair. I don't really care about the red zone. Red zone's really hard. But no look and dashing deadeye, where you're able to run and throw a perfect pass or a perfect pass on the crossbody. However, once again, I'm pretty sure these will be affected by pressure. No look deadeye might not really play that big of a factor if pressure is involved, because if you're throwing across your body, it's a good chance you're throwing it last second, right? Spin cycles, faster spin animations. If it's like this year or Madden 19, that's going to be deadly. Backfield master, more hot routes and improved catching from the backfield. Once again, not really too worried about running backs and all that. Lofting deadeye, perfect pass accuracy on lob and touch throws. Fair enough. Perfect pass accuracy on throws outside the numbers. A little bit worried, but that's fine. I just don't like throwing perfect accuracy on the run. That makes no sense. 4 additional hot routes when lined up at tight end for tight end apprentice. Fair enough. Guys like Kittle, perhaps. Man up, improved coverage and catch knockouts in man-to-man. And once again, it's kind of like universal coverage, but for man coverage only. Inside run guru, stronger blocking on inside zone plays. So once again, another offensive lineman trait. 4 additional hot rounds when lined up in a slot for slot apprentice. Safety valve, consistent catching from running backs who beat their coverage. Interesting. So your good coverage backs like Kamara and McCaffrey. Indoor baller, reduce zone objectives in domed stadiums. What the hell is that? Is that going to be for a coach? What is this? I don't even know. Maybe quarterback? I don't even know. Set feet lead. Extend range on precision passing while feet are set. Fair enough. Pressure's going to be very, it's going to be hard to keep your feet set in this Madden, I feel. Streak specialist, better route running and catching on streak routes. How do you run a better route on streaks? Isn't that just... It's mainly just release, isn't that? It's not really routes. I don't know. Finesse specialist, faster finesse move animations during the pass rush. Under pressure, bigger area of effect for QB pressure and disruption. So this one's for a defensive player. That's a little rough. Route apprentice, 4 additional hot routes. These hot routes, I want to see what these are going to be like. Pass lead nightmare, extended range on all precision passing. Matchup nightmare, better route running and catching versus linebackers. Then we have the final 8. Running back apprentice, 4 additional hot routes when lined up at running back. Curl specialist, better route running and catching on curl/comebacks. Those were kind of OP routes last year. We'll see how that plays a factor. Pin and pull guru. I feel like a guy like curl specialist would be like a Mike Evans type deal. I don't know if he runs a lot of curls, but a big body like him, you would think he would. Pin and pull guru, stronger blocking on pitch, toss, and counter plays. That is a nice pull. Like, that is a really good ability. I'm sorry I got so excited for lineman traits, but that's going to be a nice ability for linemen. Not that it matters for our Buccaneers League, because I won't have any good players at all. Evasive, faster animations for spin and juke moves. That's a good one. Backfield mismatch, better route running and catching from the backfield. Well, I mean, how many of these traits? Like, there's a lot that are kind of just the same, just a different name, right? Anchored extender, higher chance to break first sack by blitzing DB. We've seen that. Sleight of hand, higher chance of success on pump fakes and double moves. And then Homer, reduced zone objectives in the home stadium. That could be a little OP. So that's kind of, you kind of waste one of your abilities to try to get your X Factor going. There's a couple of guys that have a lot of upgrades. You could see here that, you can't see it, but Patrick Mahomes has about 5, but Tom Brady has 6. There's a lot of abilities there. A lot of the defensive line. Most of the players have 3 abilities. They have 1 X Factor and 2 superstar abilities. There's 80 players in the game, I believe, that have these abilities. A guy like Phil. Most of the quarterbacks have extra ones, so it seems like they, once again, always focus on QB. Rodgers only has 4 abilities, which is a little interesting. We have Mike Evans, who's a streak specialist and a curl specialist, like we expected, and then double me. We have 1 guy. I think maybe... No, we don't even have 2, because Levante David's only starred at. The game ruined him. Makes no sense at all. Like, just so stupid. Le'Veon Bell has armbar, spin cycle, and first one free. The pass rushers, that's going to be the worrisome ones, I think. I wonder if Sue has an... I think he was only star, if I'm not mistaken. Andrew Luck has 5. Really, we're going to call Andrew Luck better than Rodgers. Russell Wilson only has 4 in fairness. Agile, extender, escape artist, those are some good abilities. Russell Wilson is going to be a very good quarterback in Madden. What else? Stephon Diggs. It's interesting. There's a couple of names here that only have one trait. Like Damon Harrison, run stopper. Jadeveon Clowney, he has tackle supreme. Keenan Allen, in and out, elite. Matt Ryan doesn't have X Factor. He has just inside Deadeye. Daniil Hunter with reach elite. You know, there's a couple of guys with only one ability. Devontae Adams has 2. And then the last list here, Nick Chubb has armbar. Tariq Cohen has jukebox. I think it's a little unfair. Like, I get these guys are like kind of freakly, but it's kind of unfair that a guy like Tariq Cohen gets an ability. There's so many other guys that are just as good. I know he's a little unique, but there's a lot of guys that I think got snubbed. Like Levante David isn't a superstar in the game, while Kyle Fuller is. Are you for real? Like, I don't get that. I don't get that at all. Like Lamar Jackson, escape artist and fast break. How does he deserve superstar? You know, like there's some guys here that are a little interesting. I don't know. I think they really just went for guys that are unique and have a lot of potential rather than guys that are actually super established. You know, there is a lot of super established guys, but some of the lower end guys don't really deserve it. I don't know. I don't know. There's a couple of guys. I'm just calling how it is. Just calling how it is. But anyways, that's going to be the video. Let me know which ones I've mentioned that you guys think are overpowered. We mentioned about 10 of them that are pretty overpowered. X Factor wise, there was only maybe 4 or 5. You know, mainly, in my opinion, it's the catching ones that are overpowered, and it's the pass rush ones. I think Bazooka, is a little, you know, I don't think it's even a thing. Like throwing extra 15 yards, I don't think that really matters. But once again, I think these X Factor pass rush ones are going to be really tough. But there was, I think, when I played the beta, it was like you needed 2 or 3 sacks. So if you got a guy that's going to get an X Factor, it's already too late. You've already been dominated. So, you know, that's all I have to say about it. So once again, I think the superstar abilities are going to be more of a problem than the actual X Factor abilities. Maybe that's already a known thing. Everyone's like, wow, way to go, Sherlock. But let me know what you guys think. I think it's going to be a fun Madden for franchise, but I think online head-to-head where it's competitive is going to be nightmares for whoever is interested in that scene. Once again, we're the Buccaneers in our our Legacy League. So I'm a little worried about that. I can't lie. It's going to be frustrating. We literally only have Mike Evans as our superstar X Factor, and I don't even think we have another. Actually, no. To be fair, Devin White will probably be superstar at minimum. So, I mean, we're going to be at a huge disadvantage. You know, when we play against the Aaron Donalds, the Khalil Macks, I mean, even the Daniil Hunters, those guys are going to kill us on the offensive line. So, be happy that we won so much in this LA Chargers League, because we are going to struggle mightily next year with the Buccaneers. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If this was any insight to you, maybe subscribe. If it was interesting to you, maybe subscribe. I wish I could show you more actual gameplay or something, but you can't really at this point. Of course, when the EA Access thing comes out in late July, we'll be uploading a lot right away, even streaming. So be on the shores. What? I don't even know. I was going to say hop on the boat or hop on the ship, but I said be on the shores. But yeah, like the video if you liked it. Like I said, subscribe if you're new. I would appreciate it. Definitely going to be uploading a lot of Madden 20. And yeah, hope you come back for next video. Follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr. But until next video, see ya!